So are you contemplating a move to the Mooresville, North Carolina area? If you are, then I have put together a list of my top 12 things that you must know before moving to Mooresville, North Carolina. And I'm going to get into it right now. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Ross McCullough here, aka Carolina Realtor Ross, with Real Broker in the Lake Norman area of Charlotte. If this is your first time to my channel and you want to know what it's like to live, eat, sleep, work, have fun in the place that I call home, Mooresville, North Carolina, then you have got to hit that subscribe button, tap the like button, and make sure you hit that notification bell so you are alerted every time I put out a new video, putting out great information for you every week about the Lake Norman area of Charlotte. And honestly, guys, I get so many people to reach out to me by phone, text, email every single day, and I absolutely love it. So if you want any information on moving to where I call home, Mooresville, North Carolina, and the Lake Norman area of Charlotte, then shoot me a text, phone call, email, anytime, days, nights, weekends, doesn't matter. I hope to hear from you soon, and let's get right after this. Okay, so without further ado, topic number one, we are going to talk about the actual location of Mooresville and where we are with relation to other major metropolitan areas in North Carolina. So we have Lake Norman that Mooresville sits on. That is 30 miles north of Charlotte, due north, which is about a 45-minute drive and a commute down to Charlotte. We have individuals that live in this area and make their living up in Winston-Salem. That's about 45 minutes to the northeast. Easy drive up 77 and east on Interstate 40. Further east than that, we have the Greensboro, Raleigh-Durham area. That's about a 2-hour drive from the Mooresville area. One of the absolutely fantastic things about our location is that we're only about an hour and a half to the mountains on our west-hand side, where you can be skiing and get that little cooler mountain getaway in the summertime, or head down to the beach for a week at the beach or a long weekend, about a 4-hour drive from Mooresville. Which takes us right into number 2 on our list, our proximity to Charlotte. Now, if you've seen another video of mine, then I have already discussed our proximity to Charlotte, but it is obviously very important for many reasons. One, quite often, of course, individuals work down in Charlotte and commute down from the Mooresville and Lake Norman area. It's an easy commute. It's about 45 minutes, potentially a little bit quicker if you do take the toll lanes or the NC Quick Pass lanes. You may be familiar with those. The Quick Pass program is in several different states, so you may already be moving here from a state that that utilizes that. So be very easy for you. But goodness, so much fun in the summertime, even without the major sports. We have a AAA baseball team, the Charlotte Knights. Absolutely fantastic to get to a game there in the summer evenings. Then, of course, in the fall, we have the Carolina Panthers. Get down and enjoy some NFL action. Who doesn't love that? Then, of course, in the wintertime, the Charlotte Hornets, Mr. Michael Jordan's team. So, so much to do. Concerts always down at the Spectrum Center. Great dinners, great places to get out and just live that uptown lifestyle with just a 45-minute drive away. Very easy to get to. And of course, with work being such a big factor in Charlotte, the work opportunities that lie in there. Charlotte is home to several Fortune 500 companies and even more Fortune 1000 companies that call Charlotte and the Charlotte area their corporate headquarters. So employment opportunities abound in our area, which is a huge attraction, obviously, to anyone moving here from a different region. So as we get into springtime here pretty soon, we've just entered 2023 as I'm putting this video out. It is the first week of January. I look forward to the days when we can get out and enjoy the different breweries. And again, those baseball games in the springtime down in the uptown area. Love taking my family out there. I've got a 1-year-old and a 6-year-old, soon to be 2 and 7, but they love to get out and see the city. They're not used to that. So look forward to that big time. My number 3 topic About moving to Mooresville, North Carolina, and things that you must know. The weather. The weather is fantastic, especially compared to places up in the far Northeast and Midwest or down in Southern Florida. Just always hot and humid down there. Here we deal with the heat and humidity a couple months out of the year, but not nearly as much. And we don't even come close to the insane winters that are experienced up in the North and Northeast. Average high in the wintertime here is about 48 degrees. That's in January, and that's as cold as it gets. So it comes down to 48, and we ramp right back up here pretty soon, get back up into the 50s once we roll into February. March, we'll get into the 60s and 70s. April, I mean, I'm a golfer. I love the Masters. So everybody knows that that first or second weekend of April, they're playing down in Augusta. That's only about a 2-hour drive. So knowing what we're dealing with, it's typically about 75, 80 degrees that time of the year. Absolutely perfect golfing weather. Start your boating season. It is just fantastic. Big reason why my family moved here from Syracuse, New York in 1989, December 1989. We made the move down here when my father worked for the airlines. Big part of that transition was because my father and I are golfers. He wanted that ability to play year round, and that's what we did. And I ended up making that a 22-year career in the golf industry. So anyway, enough about that. It's about the weather. It's perfect. Tee it up year round. The number 4 thing that we're going to discuss today is Mooresville and its location in Iredell County. So as you look at the counties that surround Lake Norman, you have Mecklenburg County, which is where Charlotte lies. That touches the southern and southeastern portions of the lake. Then you come up to Iredell County. When you make that trip across the border from Mecklenburg to Iredell County, taxes come down. That is right. Property taxes are much better in Iredell County than they are in Charlotte. Big reason why people don't mind making that commute down to Charlotte or working from home. Of course, if you're going to work from home, love where you live. And an even better way to get a break on those taxes is if you live in an area where you are relying on septic and well for your home and not city and county utilities. Obviously, when you're utilizing the city utilities, you are paying those taxes directly to the city. When you're on well and septic, don't have to do that. Just maintain your systems. They will work for you for a very long time. I get asked quite often, would I live in a home with a septic system? And the answer 100% of the time is yes. There's nothing wrong with the septic system. Every home on the lake has a well and septic, every single one. There's no system that runs out there from Mooresville to provide those homes with with water and sewer. With that said, you've got buyers that are putting up minimum $1 million, likely as high as, goodness, I've seen as high recently as $8 million buying on the lake. And if well and septic's good enough for them, it's good enough for everybody. That is a big difference between Mecklenburg and Iredell County. Now let's roll into number 5 on my list. I'll get resituated here. Number 5 on my list of things that you must know about Mooresville before moving here is that Mooresville is the busiest, fastest paced, and most populated town on Lake Norman. Now, technically speaking, Huntersville is more populated, but it just touches a tiny portion of the lake. Mooresville touches the largest portion of the lake. And I'll go over that in a little bit more in depth in another section. But what Mooresville has is everything shopping and dining that you can even ever think of. Anything that you would need for whether it's Christmas shopping, birthday, a night out, great dinners, whether that's out on the water, having a dinner by the lake, or in the downtown area, relaxing and taking advantage of what that has to offer. So Lake Norman is comprised of 8 towns. You have Troutman on the northeast side of the lake. Coming down, you have Mooresville, Davidson, Cornelius, and Huntersville. Swing around onto the other side of the lake, you have Denver, Sherrills Ford, and Terrell. Of those 8 towns, Mooresville is by far the most populated and therefore the busiest. So if you're looking to avoid traffic, looking to avoid, it's just waiting in lines for potentially finding parking spots or just being extremely busy, Mooresville may not be for you. But if you want to be close to all of the shopping and dining and everything day to day that you will need, Mooresville is the place to be. That is for sure. As Mooresville is far and away the largest town that touches the lake, there is a wide array and large area of homes, and therefore home values and home prices. Of course, the closer you get to the lake, those are going to be a little bit more expensive. The farther away you get from the lake, it's going to be less expensive, which will take us directly into topic number 6. 28117 and 28115. Those are the 2 zip codes that make up Mooresville. 28117 is thought of as areas west of Interstate 77. 28115 is thought of as areas east of Interstate 77. Now, I'll show you on the map here that is not exactly the case. 28117 does stick into or go across that interstate just a little bit, not by much. And there are a couple of neighborhoods in 28115 on the west side of the interstate. But for the most part, 28117, if you're looking for waterfront property, that is the zip code that you would want to search in. Those home prices by nature are going to be much higher. The average median home price right now in 28117 is $564, compared to the average home price, median home sale price in 28115 is $390. So a fairly substantial difference. Of course, that gets much higher as you approach the waterfront properties or lake access properties. Now, on 28115, what you have is downtown Mooresville. It's a much slower paced, older town before the 28117 area was broadly developed. So what you have, kind of an old mill town, that old town feel. You get out and walk around, check out Main Street. You've got wonderful little eateries, shopping, dining, just local stores, and it's kind of that fantastic, good Southern feel when you're walking around downtown Mooresville. So the 28117 side, the lake side, has homes that are, for the most part, newer. They're bigger, potentially larger plots of land. Hence, the home prices are higher, of course, along with the proximity to the lake. Get on that eastern side of Interstate 77 to the 28115 side, home prices will remain lower, as I said before. They're going to be older homes. Some of them have been updated recently. There's going to be the higher end price points. Now, there are several new construction neighborhoods going up right now and have been for the last year or two in the 28115 area. Homes by D.R. Horton, Taylor Morrison, Pulte Homes. I mean, just to name a few. So there are plenty of brand new communities. They are going to be on smaller lots. You're going to be right next to your neighbor, but the home prices are going to be lower than what you'll find over in 28117 for anything similar. So if you're looking to be in Mooresville, have that lake access potentially by way of keeping your boat at home or in storage and taking it to any of the public launches, then 28115 is for you. If you've got that little bit extra price point roof that allows you that ability to be closer to or on the water, then 28117 is for you. Now, talking about Mooresville a little bit more in depth, you've got several sections. We'll start up north. The northern section of Mooresville, you can get to either by Interstate 77 or Perth Road. Perth Road cuts straight up north from Highway 150 and takes you up to the northern parts of Mooresville and then down some of the fingers and peninsulas that jut out into the lake. Some absolutely gorgeous homes and properties up there. A little bit away from the traffic. And there are ways to beat that traffic as you're coming back down to do your shopping. Next, we have I would call the central portion of Mooresville. That is Highway 150. And then just south of that is Brawley School Road and the Brawley Peninsula. The majority of the living is down Brawley Peninsula. You've got homes to the northern side of the peninsula and the southern side of the peninsula. It juts well down into the lake. And so if you're anywhere down in the end of the peninsula and making that commute down to Charlotte, that adds an extra 15 to 20 minutes to your drive and could make it an hour commute pretty easily down to Charlotte. The homes are absolutely beautiful on that side. Now, as you get a little bit south of that, you have to take the interstate down to it. You have the Langtree area, and that is where Lowe's corporate headquarters are located. And that is just to the east. And as you head north from there, you hit the downtown area of Mooresville and the older style homes. You have some single story homes. Like I said, many have been updated and brought up to the standards of homes that you'd see and look for those upgrades with homes here in 2023. Okay, now with that said, we'll roll into number 7 on my list of things that you must know before moving to Mooresville. Now, before I get into this topic, we're going to talk about schools in the Mooresville area. Realtors cannot guide or steer you towards any specific school district. So I will put a link up to greatschools.org where you can do your own research and look into that a little bit more. But I'll tell you a little bit about them. Living in the 28115 area, you have the Mooresville Graded School District just for that specific town. So not worried about, they've separated from county and gone it on their own. It's a top 10 school system in the state, very well regarded. If you live on the 28117 side, you have Iredell County Schools, some great schools there as well. You also have the opportunity for charter schools, which are lottery, essentially put your name in and hope for the best. If you get your youngsters in at kindergarten, essentially they are locked in throughout, and family has preference. But if not, it's tough. It's just flip of a coin, and it's a tough one at that. But you really can't go wrong no matter where you are. The schools are going to be good in Mooresville. Your children will be well taken care of and get a good education. But look into some more of that on your own. I encourage you, strongly encourage you, some great information on there. Number 8 on my list of things that you need to know before you make the move to Mooresville, the work opportunities that Mooresville has. It's fantastic. Mooresville and the surrounding areas. So Mooresville is known as the home of NASCAR. As you're walking down Main Street in Mooresville, you will see our version of the LA Walk of Fame. Our Walk of Fame is all of the NASCAR drivers and racing history that lies here in Mooresville. So with Mooresville being the home of NASCAR, of course, many NASCAR teams make their home right here in Mooresville. Some just south in Huntersville, others over in Concord. The majority of them here are in Mooresville. So, of course, you don't have to be 100% into racing to take advantage of that. You can jump into an HR role, administrative role. There's so many things that you can do and look into to, work with NASCAR and let NASCAR work with you. And of course, I mentioned before with the Lowe's corporate headquarters being located in Mooresville, it's a major attraction for individuals. I have my neighbors on the other side of me are Lowe's employees. They were transferred here, came in from Texas, and there are many individuals just like them that come in and work here at our corporate headquarters, maybe trained to head out and go to a different location or call the headquarters home. But there's so many different things that you can do. So Mooresville is also the home to the Lake Norman Regional Medical Center. So plenty of work opportunities there, always looking for nurses. There's a nursing shortage everywhere right now. So if this area is an attraction to you and you want to call Mooresville home, there are plenty of opportunities for you in the healthcare industry with Novant Health, Atrium Health, and the Lake Norman Regional Medical Center, as well as other hospitals within a short commute. Or private practices. Another key part of employment is seasonal service industry jobs all around the lake. So Mooresville being the majority of where where the, lake activity, or shall I say, the entertainment side of the lake is. The majority of the restaurants and eateries and entertainment that is on the lake is in Mooresville. So many opportunities for jobs starting in, I'd say, the March, April timeframe, and ramp up, of course, into summer, and then ramp down as you get into September, October, and then November. It's pretty much just dinner and some lunch, but nothing major. But summertime, it is fantastic, and some of the best people I've ever met working there in the summertime. So my ninth topic that I will talk about, and a must know before you move here to Mooresville, is our 365-day golfing season. I'm a golfer. Golf means so much to me and to North Carolina in general. Between Pinehurst, a couple hours away, but Mooresville has some great golf, and there's 28 golf courses within about a 30-minute drive of Mooresville. Four specifically in the Mooresville area. First, you start with Trump National Golf Club. Trump National Golf Club Charlotte is a private facility located in the Point. So that is down the Brawley Peninsula. It is my favorite golf course in the Charlotte area, and there are some absolutely fantastic ones, but so many of their holes are on the lake, touch the water. It is home to a couple of celebrities, some Champions Tour players that I know of. I know Scotty McCarron calls it home. Shout out to Scotty McCarron. But aside from that, you have Mallard Head Golf Club. You have Larkin Golf Club to the north, both public, very, very affordable, fun to play. And then you have a special one to me, Mooresville Golf Club. Quick story about Mooresville Golf Club. Starting my career starting my career in golf, that was in the mid-90s. I had to pass what's called my player ability test. And of all the places that I could have passed it, I did not live here at that time. I lived in Myrtle Beach. I came up here, took the player ability test at Mooresville Golf Club and passed, and started my 25-year golf career. Still a PGA professional, PGA member right now. So if you want to know golf, ask me anything. Ask me anything about any of the courses here. I'm a tremendous resource. Love it. Love to get out there with you. So if you're coming down to look for a house, we'll get out there and play some golf. Topic number 10 on my list of things to know before calling Mooresville home. Waterfront living. If you want to live on the lake, it is expensive here on Lake Norman. There's just no way around that. This lake is extremely popular. Homes start just under $1 million, but when we're talking in Mooresville, they're going to start basically right at $1 million. The homes that are at $1 million, probably right now after the boom that we've had, are going to be at the end of a cove, very little water. Sometimes when the water level's down, you're not going to have full water. You got to get up into that $1.5 million, maybe $1.25 before you start to get those homes with a little bit more land, better docks, better lake access, which then can get you up into the $2 million plus range. But my goodness, is it gorgeous. I could drive around this lake by boat or by car and look at the homes all day long. It is absolutely stunning and beautiful to see. The majority of the waterfront, I dare say all, it's not all, but it is almost all developed, and very few vacant lots or land remains, especially in Mooresville. There may not be hardly anything. So some of the best opportunities lie in finding a home that is old, could be torn down, rebuilt. If you're looking at tearing down a home, depending on the size and how much to haul away, probably going to be 30 to 50,000, maybe more. But if it's more than that, you're looking at a big home, probably should be remodeled more so than torn down. But if you're sitting and staring at that amazing westerly view, looking at the sunsets, and you have it within your price range to tear down and build, that is a great option. It's happening all over the lake right now. And that's a way to get a phenomenal lot and can make it your own. If not, jumping into something and renovating is going to be the next best bet. So I'll roll that right into my topic number 11, homes in lake access communities. Okay, so you don't have to live on the lake to enjoy the lake. Of course, there's so many ways to access the lake, but there are many communities that have deeded docks, deeded boat slips for you. So we'll have a dock that can house 10 boats, 20 boats, 40 boats, 60 boats, all deeded to the properties that you may be interested in. So if your home does come with a deeded boat slip that transfers with the sale of the property, you have a permanent place to park your boat. And in most cases, you can do whatever you want to with that. Put a lift on there, get that boat up and out of the water for whether it's the off seasons or just want to take it out of the water after you're done having fun for the day. Most of those neighborhoods as well will offer you some form of boat storage. So if you are in an HOA community that does not allow boats to be parked in your driveway or anywhere on your property, they will allow you, they have gated areas. The protection they will provide is you can put your boat behind lock and key. You will have access to it at any point that you want, but not going to be able to keep that boat on your property. And as far as boat storage is concerned, if what the HOA in your neighborhood provides, there are many marinas around the lake where you can find, and it is full. They're difficult to find. There are some waiting lists, but they'll have indoor storage for the off season or in season, where you can pick up the phone, give them a call, and just say, hey, if you can bring my boat down, we're going to be there in 20 minutes. They'll have it gassed up and ready to go for you. That is such a great way to go if you don't have that deeded access or the leased access. That'll take me to number 12 on my list, things to know before you make the move to Mooresville. And that is where the most affordable housing is. And that is going to be on that 28115 side. There's still some absolutely beautiful neighborhoods. Many of the homes are older, as I said. There are some new construction neighborhoods. But if affordability is what you're looking for, but you want to be in this area, you can absolutely find it. So with affordability may come some different factors. If your price point is lower, you're either going to be potentially in a non-HOA neighborhood, which so many people prefer anyway. They don't want to be told what they can or cannot do with their property. If they want to have some family stay with them in an RV for a while, you cannot do that in HOA community. More than likely, you cannot park your boat in your community. You've got to do specific things with the exterior of your home or your property in general, the type of fence you can have. That is also going to save you likely, potentially a couple hundred a month or up to maybe a few hundred a year in HOA dues as well. So the savings can be found in several different ways. So essentially, Mooresville has got a little bit for everybody. You've got the waterfront living, you've got lake access living, and you've got living for anyone and everyone, whether the lake is your thing or not. If Charlotte is your thing or not, it doesn't matter. Anybody can be happy and fall in love with Mooresville like I absolutely have. All right. So if you are thinking of making the move to Mooresville, calling Mooresville home, as I've gone over in this video, there are a wide array of areas you can be within Mooresville itself. And I know all of those areas. Reach out to me. Let me know what taste of home you're looking for, what size, how many bedrooms, bathrooms. Do you want to be on top of your neighbor? Do you want to have space? Do you need to be near your job? Do you need to be near schools? Anything, let me know and I can set up a search for you and chat. Take advantage of the opportunity to jump on the link down below in the description and schedule a 15 to 30 minute consultation with me. Just face to face like I'm doing here. We can chat and talk about what it is that you're looking for, when you may be looking to make that move, and I can give you any advice and help you throughout the process from A to Z. But I can't help you unless you reach out to me. So like I said before, shoot me that phone call, text, email, or schedule. What does that even mean? Schedule on my link below. Let's chat. Let's do this. Help you make the move to Mooresville. I'll see you in the next video.